Hail, mighty warrior! Hail, weary traveler! Seek ye the torchlit halls of Sovngarde? You will not find them here, alas! Naught but puny elves and snow-backed wizards dwell in this place. I am bound for the Whalebone Bridge, and soon's mighty challenge. Join me! Confused? Bah! You sound like that scrawny mage Erudil. My course is plain. I must make my way to the dwelling place of my honored ancestors, to bathe my beard in mead and sing the shield-tained song of battle. Make way, or taste sky-forged steel. You would have words with that thin-legged sorcerer? Fine! You will find him in the courtyard of the gaudy elf hall up the hill. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have an adventure to return to.
Onward, sailors! What treasures await us?
These decks need swabbing. Get to it!
Welcome aboard, sailor.
What are you doing? Stop this nonsense right now. Unbelievable.
Squee! Oink, oink, oink.
Just look at these tasty piggies.
Oink, oink.
Eye of Magnus, another one. That's a very convincing costume. What are you supposed to be? Some gallant hero? Trinimac in disguise? Wait, you're not one of my classmates. You really are a hero, aren't you? Thank Auriel. I need your help. I may have unleashed a powerful enchantment on the Academy. Quite by accident, mind you. There's this book, you see, The Illuminous. I stole just the briefest of peeks. Barely even a peek, honestly. More like a fleeting glimpse. It drove my classmates mad. They were all quite sane before, but now they seem possessed by characters from novels and storybooks. They're snorting like pigs, running from cats. It's lunacy. I have some ideas on how to fix this, but I need help. When I opened the book, The Illuminous, there was a great flash of light and a low growl. Or maybe a yawn. Like some great beast just woke from a deep sleep. Originally, it was full of dense text. Now, just see for yourself. I set it down over there. You see? It's empty. It's as if the words just scampered off the page. I thought maybe the enchantment rendered the words invisible, so I tried to recover them. I used gazing lenses, Welkind revelation stones, even a bit of lemon juice. Nothing. I'm not sure. I certainly hope not. The words could be dancing around in oblivion for all I know. We should focus on the enchantment itself. If we manage to loosen its grip on some of my friends, they might be able to provide some clues.
Erudiel? Ugh, what are you still doing here?
Glardier, where in Tamriel have you been?
I told you before, Glardier's gone. Look, you're so plain, Erudiel. So boring.
Well, there's no need for that.
Who are you? One of Erudiel's boring friends? He's insufferable, that one. Not a scrap of drama to be found in that hollow bonce of his. An artist, a composer, a thespian par excellence. And who are you? Another boring, unimaginative, talentless brute, no doubt. You and Erudiel make quite the pair. Oh, a thrilling accusation. Drama, intrigue. Perhaps I underestimated you. You know what? I take it all back. You should stay. Every great play needs an audience. This place could use some excitement.
I know she doesn't seem the part, but Glardier's my best friend. She was with me when I opened the Illuminus, and now she's... well, frankly, I don't know what she is. Executing this plan is going to be harder than I thought. Right. Sorry. As far as I can tell, everyone thinks they're a character from some book or another. If we can figure out what persona they've taken on, we can trick them into doing something out of character. Maybe. It's a start. You can't expect me to know everything. It's only my 14th year, for Mara's sake. I'll start with Glardier, though I must admit I have no idea what character she's channeling. You should find some of the others. I think I saw Pavo over by the east wall. He was scrounging around on the ground. Tanelwyn was in the lecture garden. Looked like she was interrogating someone. And I heard Selinia yelling from up on the wall. Make sure she doesn't slip. Would you believe idle curiosity? No? Fine. I borrowed it from the librarian, Camlehall, to impress Glardier. The, Library of Shrieking Terror. Borrowed? I was going to put it back. Honestly, I don't even know why we have a Library of Shrieking Terror. This is a school, for Ariel's sake. I just wanted to impress Glardier. I thought that if I showed her the book, she'd think more of me. Where do you think? Fumbling around like the rest of my classmates. I ran straight to the headmaster when I realized what had happened. But when I got there, I found him standing on his desk, swinging a broom around like an orcish cleaver. I've been asking myself the same thing. Truthfully, I'm totally unremarkable. Everyone says so. I can't imagine that I have some special quality that rendered me immune. I suppose it's possible. My mother always said I was special. I've always been very good with jigsaw puzzles, paper folding too. Do you think that could have something to do with it? You're right. I was silly to have entertained the idea in the first place. Jigsaw puzzles. Honestly, what good could that do? Yes, of course. Goodness, we've barely even had a chance to speak about it. This is the Illumination Academy, a home for verse, prose, and near-forgotten songs. Our libraries contain all the tales of Summerset. We're caretakers, you might say. Don't be crude. We don't just organize the tales. We study and transcribe them, breathing new life into old stories, songs, plays, novels. We cherish them all. Of course, my classmates are cherishing them a little too much right now. I focus on lesser-known works, plays mostly. The works of Toldinderil, for instance. They're pretty dense, lots of hidden narrative, rich subtext, you know. People tend to avoid Toldinderil's work. They think it's... I was going to say dry, but yes, boring. They don't know what they're missing. Tales of adventure and follies are fine. But if you really want to get to the heart of the Altmer condition, you won't find better than Toldinderel.
Attention! Class is now in session!
Please, won't you help a poor soul like me? Please, my lady, spare a coin for a wretched beggar? Oh, but I am wretched. Don't you see my filthy fingernails? My oozing sores? I am a victim, it's true, but not of an enchantment. No, I suffer a terrible curse. Do not ask me my name. I have none. All I have is a tale of pride and sorrow. I haven't the heart to speak it aloud. Some cruel scribe committed my woes to paper, but I can't bear to read them. This is no mere fable. It is my life. Read it, if you must. Just please, spare me the pain of hearing it. Have you come for another look at nameless sorrow? Look, then. Weedle. A name that breaks even the hardest hearts. Most people don't notice us lowly beggars, let alone learn our names. I thank you for that. But names cannot fill an empty belly. Please, mercy, spare a coin. Such generosity. Mara bless you. Have you come for another look at nameless sorrow? Look, then. Weedle. A name that breaks even the hardest hearts. What? No, you can't do that. No mortal can see my wretched state and not be moved to pity. Unless you aren't mortal. It's you, isn't it? Blessed Namira. You've come back to free me from my torment. Oh, great Namira, sweet prince of decay. I thought I'd never see you again. Please, free me from your gifts. I can't bear them any longer. Oh, thank you. My gratitude is beyond measure. Undo what has been done, I beg you. Yes, I feel not much different, actually. What is going on? This is That was it? I don't feel cured at all. I feel the same. I'm confused. No, you must be wrong. Look! I'm covered in rags and sores. Just look at me. Look! Oh. Wait, what am I doing? Who are you? Erudiel. Yes, I remember. My frumpy, boring friend. I should find him. Maybe I can help.
There you are. I have wonderful news. Maybe. The book, it changed. I was examining the book again, trying to see if there was anything I missed. Then, lines of text started appearing on the page right before my eyes. I know. He just returned. How did you manage it? Well, that's oddly specific, but I'm glad my plan worked. It can't be a coincidence. That must be what affected the Illuminus. Just take a look. Whatever's taken hold of Gladir is clearly not pleased. I hate to cause her more distress, but I think we should keep freeing my friends. You saved Pavo! Well done! You should find the others. Perhaps you could help to Nelwyn next. She was interrogating 2 of my fellow students in the lecture garden.
So you distracted one of my performers, eh? A bit of drama is fine, but don't overstep. Of course not. You've already mucked up one of the plays. I'm not about to squander what genuine drama remains. Now, off with you!
One of you is the thief. I'll crack this case yet.
You lay yet more burdens on an already burdened brow? I stole no pies. Now off with you before I cast you into the dungeon!
Avast! Why do you pester me like this nosy wench? I've no use for lubber pies.
Careful there, friend. There's a thief about. One of these 2 scamps is the criminal mastermind behind a half-baked plot to steal a pie. My pie, in fact. Cut down in its crispy, gooey prime while my back was turned. Oh, goodness, no! Surely you recognize the most clever and curvaceous investigator in Tamriel. Clearly you need to read up on my escapades. Some clever writers committed a few to paper. Should be a copy around here somewhere. So, finished reading about my heroic exploits? Impressive, yes? Yes, Investigator Vale at your service. Have a puzzling crime to report? Well, I'll sort out your issue soon enough. First, I need to expose the sticky-fingered pie pilferer. It's clearly one of these 2. What? Of course I am, silly. I know this seems like an unsolvable crime to the average citizen, but it's really all quite clear to me. Simply put, I'm never wrong. Proof? Why, of course I have proof. I just want these 2 to wriggle on the hook a bit longer. I'll reveal the identity of the thief soon enough.
You lay yet more burdens on an already burdened brow? I stole no pies. Now off with you before I cast you into the dungeon! Pie? I can't trouble myself with such trifling matters. I have a kingdom to look after, and a churlish child to wrangle. I stole no pies. It was clearly the pirate over there. I have no idea how. I never saw the scoundrel leave. What? You want me to believe that Investigator Vale got this wrong? Ha! Preposterous! The pirate's to blame. Just look at all these crumbs. Only a sloppy mariner would make such a mess. Yes? Look, they're everywhere. Leading off into the bushes, it seems. Why that scallywag stole off into the bushes, I don't know. But you can't expect a weary sovereign to understand the mind of a criminal.
Avast! Why do you pester me like this nosy wench? I've no use for lubber pies.
That slippery Breton must have taken it. Believe me, I know a thief when I see one, and that little twerp is guilty as they come. Must be mighty quick, though. I barely took me eyes off the rascal, and these eyes are as sharp as fish hooks, see?
No, not possible. Investigator Vale said one of us is guilty, and it weren't me.
She's clever as a one-eyed shark, that one. Vale's never wrong. Never! I saw a flash of brown fur out of the corner of me eye, quick as a dolphin in the wake. It was heading towards the hedgerow, I think. You don't think the Breton's a werewolf, do you?
Ah, you've arrived just in time to see me expose the pastry thief. It's quite clear that the guilty party is none other than that pirate there. The picaroon's testimony, while colourful, included the flavour of the pie, a fact that only someone who tasted it would know. Another puzzling case closed. Impressed? A dog? Of course. The fur, the crumbs. How could I have missed it? It was so obvious. No, this isn't right. This isn't how the story goes. I am Investigator Vale. I am never wrong. Wait, I hear a name. Who is Tanelwen? I am so confused. Yes, I remember now. That damned book, The Illuminous. It's to blame, isn't it? I'll go check on Arudiel now. Auriel knows he'll need the help. Thank you, my friend. Being a sultry detective was uncomfortable. Let's see if Arudiel has found a solution yet.
Does that mean we aren't in trouble?
I don't know. But now I'm hungry.
Investigator Vale was wrong. So that means... Oh, thank the 8! I couldn't take another minute of being a mopey king. Bless you, my friend, bless you.
Investigator Vale was wrong. But that means... Oh dear. You mean I'm not a daring pirate queen after all? Damn it all.
Another successful rescue? Thank goodness. I suspected as much. Perfect. We're clearly onto something. When you rescue someone, new passages appear in the book. It's almost like you're writing a new story. Intriguing, and more than a little unsettling. Just have a look.
Let's get to work on this curse. I've had enough begging for one lifetime. Just look at my knees. It will take days to wash out these stains.
I can't for the life of me figure out Gladia's persona. She's clearly some sort of troubadour, or a playwright, perhaps. We'll sort it out. We have to.
Gladia's persona seems tied to the Illuminous in a more explicit way than the others, but I still haven't managed to identify her character. We're making progress, though. I think. Freeing my friends is clearly angering whatever force is driving this. If the Illuminous grows angry enough, maybe the force behind it will reveal itself. How's that for a plan? That wasn't rhetorical. Is this... This is an atrocious plan, isn't it? Have you found Selenia yet? Check the Academy walls. I thought I saw her up there. It's ironic. She normally hates heights. Get her down and perhaps we can make a bit more headway here.
All right, that's enough! You were amusing at first, but now you're just a nuisance. This isn't how the story goes. No, you don't get to barge in, heckle the performers, then ask questions. You're a bore, an oaf. Leave now before I really get angry.
Did you hear that? Something moving just beyond the light of the campfire. By the divines, it's cold out here.
Shh! I think I saw something moving out there in the snow.
Oh, come on! Jump! It's fun! I want to see if you bounce!
I am. I'll show you. Right. I'm not afraid.
Who are you? Come to jump too? Well, you'll have to wait. My little friend here is just about to take the plunge.
Hello. Come to join in my adventures? Or maybe you mean to scold me like the mean old workers. I hope not. I could use a new playmate. Torchbug's fun, but a little strange. He's my best friend. Just over there, see? He always has the funniest ideas, but sometimes he says things that crinkle my carapace. Still, he's always good for an adventure. Sitting in the mines is so boring. A game! A guessing game! Yes! Here are some hints. I have 8 spindly legs, cute little mandibles, and a thirst for adventure. Stumped? Ha! There's a book that might give you a clue. Must be around here somewhere. So, can you guess who I am? Yes, yes, you got it! I am the most fearless adventurer on 8 legs. Nothing scares me, nothing. Not a thing! Not even those big hairy spiders in the garden. Definitely not those. Scribs aren't afraid of spiders, not one bit.
I heard you let the Tooth Mole trader go free. I guess everyone deserves a second chance.
No! Stay back! Foul beast! It found me! Save yourselves!
There, across the waves. Do you see them? Ships! Dozens of them heading toward us. Gird yourself, soldier.
Okay, I've got this.
Not you again!
And go! living creatures!
Wait, where are you? Oh, you ruined it! Hey, what are you doing ruining my show? That scrib was gonna make such a delicious splatting noise! Wait, the brave little scrib ran away? I'm confused.
What is going on? It was just a spider. This isn't right. I'm brave. I'm brave and fearless and... What happened to me? Where am I? Mara, help me. Were we up on the walls? A Rudil? Oh, it was that damned book, wasn't it? The Illuminus? I told him to leave that thing be. Just had to put on a show for Gladir, didn't he? Ugh. Can we continue this closer to the ground? I still feel dizzy. You mean he's still fiddling with it? Sans price. We'd best get down there and make sure he doesn't do something foolish. I've never seen Gladir like this. Mischievous, brassy. I actually kind of like it. But don't look at me like that. We'll bring her back somehow, don't worry.
There you are. Gladir's gotten far less cheerful, and the book shifted again. I think things are coming to a head. Every time you bring someone back, Gladir's irritation grows. It started out simple enough, sneers and grumbles. But now, she's near to frothing. On top of that, there's another entry in the book. It's... well, just look at it.
You! Oh, I've had just about enough of you. My story was perfect, perfect, and now you've muddled it up. I won't have it, not anymore. I will never tell you, you guileless, flop-heeled buffoon. You don't deserve it. None of you do. Enough of this! You. Oh, I've had just about enough of you. My story was perfect, perfect, and now you've muddled it up. I won't have it, not anymore. Oh, such pride, such braggadocio. You would have made a splendid character in my story, if not for your bull-headed meddling. My name is unimportant. The play's the thing. The story. You know it well by now. You've been reading it all along. Yes, and it would have been a far better tale without you in it. Any of you, in fact. You're boring, ordinary. I need finer muses. The library! Yes, there are splendid books in there. I'll use them to weave a true tale of terror. You don't deserve this book. It's mine.
Gladir, wait!
What happened? Where did she go?
Oh no, poor Gladir. You have to stop her before she does something dangerous.
She vanished. Oh, of all the luck. Where did she go? Well, that is... suboptimal. She must be talking about the stacks below the Hall of Illumination. If she means to stir up trouble, there are plenty of stories down there that will let her do just that. You must hurry. Don't let her escape.
What is that approaching? Some strange sea beast. Prepare to be boarded, mates.
Oh, now what is all this mess? Oh my, a roguish adventurer. Finally. Sorry about the mess. I usually keep things so neat. When things get dirty, oh, I get so flustered. Well, a shapely woman came prancing through. Tousled hair, firm buttocks, and oh, the bosoms. Anyway, the book sprung to life behind her. Toothsome beasts and sweaty, rugged fighters appeared in her wake. Ooh, is it getting hot in here? Oh, I've got plenty of ideas. Oh, wait. You mean to banish them? I'm such a silly thing. The creatures seem bound to their books. If you close a book and slide it back onto the shelf, that might work. Instinct. Raw, untamed instinct. If that fails, I suppose you could check the shelves. Maybe some outwardly prudish but secretly lustful archivist labeled them. Just be sure to put the books on the right shelf. These tomes seem very particular.
everyone.
Interrupting! Then came a bellow and a blast of chill wind. The hero's fate was sealed. You just won't stop, will you?
Hey, what's a little extortion among
friends? No more! Get out of my head!
Gladly. You're boring just like the rest. I'll finish this hero myself.
I can't. Is it gone? I'm free. Finally. Wait, where am I? Yes, I remember now. The creature. It's called the Illuminated One. It feeds on stories, on conflict and drama. The more exciting, the better. I fear all this fighting and chasing and anxiety has just made it stronger. It's grown powerful enough to manifest as a material being. That makes it more dangerous. But it also gives us an opportunity to fight it. If you hunt it down and beat it into submission, it will have no choice but to return to the Illuminus.
Face me, you talentless hack. Your story ends here. Back. You can't do this. My masterpiece.
I feel different. Wait, did I? I said some terribly improper things, didn't I? Oh, I am so sorry. Please believe me, I'm normally meek as a newborn turtle. It's just these romance novels, you see, Oh, you get the idea.
Thank you for saving me, friend. I think I've had my fill of drama for a while. Time to curl up with a nice, boring cookbook.
All my classmates and professors are finally coming to their senses. Whatever you did appears to have worked. Did you really defeat this creature? The Illuminated One? Thank the divines! You know, Gladir finally solved the mystery of why I was spared. The Illuminated One thought I was too boring. Imagine that. I guess it pays to be dull sometimes. And to have strong allies like you. Take care, Caraval. Thank you. I don't know what would have happened if you hadn't shown up.
Thank you for saving.
helped Arethiel stop Moloch? Oh, if only I could walk in her shadow.
That storm's worsening by the second. We're running out of time. Best head inland, traveler, far as you can manage. It is only a matter of time before the tempest over Sea Keep moves down the coast, leaving ruin in its wake. I suppose it is, but we were driven from the keep long before the tempest began forming. Sea elves infiltrated our defenses and slaughtered the garrison. We're all that survived. That storm will finish the job unless I manage to stop it. It's no natural formation. The sea elves are conjuring it. If I could get within striking distance of their sea mage, I could break his hold on the storm and prevent the destruction to come. But that's a desperate hope for one mer. I don't need another death on my conscience, but I can't afford to refuse your help. A direct assault on Sea Keep is impossible, but if the Maormer can infiltrate it, then so can we. Meet me at the ruins down by the water. I'll show you what I mean. Sea Keep is the bulwark that invading fleets dash themselves against attempting to attack Alanor. Impregnable by most means, our battle mages and siege engines could reduce an enemy fleet to flotsam in a matter of minutes. It was made to be unsaleable from the outside. Inside, it's another matter. Once we're within the walls, we only have the Maormer to fear. They are brutal and ruthless opponents. Their war beasts, perhaps more so. Apologies. It's easy to take our ancestral conflict as common knowledge after so long. Maormer are otherwise known as Sea Elves, exiles who were banished many centuries ago. Not a year goes by that they don't attempt to wrest Summerset from our grip. It has been attempted. Their home of Piandania is an isle surrounded by impenetrable mists. All attempts to navigate it have failed spectacularly. All we can do is remain vigilant and endure. I was, yes. A fortress that has never been breached in thousands of years of fighting was lost in a single night on my watch. The failure is entirely mine to bear. Unconventionally. They exploited a weakness in Sea Keep I took for granted. But we could do the same. You'll understand when we get to the ruins by the shore. Our means of entering Sea Keep is this way. There's no time to spare. I hope you're a strong swimmer, incidentally.
I've done all that I can for the wounded, but if that storm gets any worse, I'm not sure it will matter.
Here. This is the place. See that whirlpool? The currents are being drawn into the flooded ruins beneath Sea Keep. We should be able to follow them inside just as the Sea Elves did. It's that or we drown. If you want to back out, I understand. Good. I'm glad to have someone at my back. I couldn't ask any of my soldiers to do this. They've suffered enough for my mistakes, and it's just something I have to do. Come on, before the storm decides to sweep us away. We made it! Too many years on dry land. There's a secret door in these ruins that will lead us directly into Sea Keep's dungeon. I can unseal it, but there's something you should know first. I had another reason to come here, when I couldn't share around my troops. The Maormer are holding the woman I love captive. I have to free her before the reinforcements from Alinor arrive. Because Castera is a sea elf. She is, or was, I suppose, the captain of the crew that attacked Sea Keep. Assuming her mutinous crew hasn't already done so, she'll be executed. Ultima don't suffer, Maormer. Bait. These ruins were the only place where Cass and I could see each other. Our secret safe place. She would signal and I would use the secret door to meet her. Only this time, I was met by the sabers of her crew. They had her in chains. Yes, the blood of the garrison is on my hands. I killed them with my secret. I can't take that back, but maybe I can save what's left. The survivors, the keep, and the woman I love. I last saw Cass in the dungeon. With any luck, she's still there, and unharmed. I didn't. The sea elves waylaid me and tossed me in the dungeon as soon as I unsealed the hidden passage. They only kept me alive because I was still of use to them. I slipped the leash on the battlements, where their sea mage was studying the keep's magical defenses. There was nowhere for me to run, so I took a leap of faith straight into the arms of the sea. Barely made it back to shore, but I survived. There's the secret door. Give me a moment to open the seal. Cass, are you all right?
Pan? How did you... Never mind. Get me out of these chains.
I'll see to her bonds. Cass, I need you to tell us everything you know about what your crew is planning.
Is it just the two of you? I suppose it'd have to be. No one from his garrison would volunteer to help a Maormer. You know the truth, then, about us. You have to understand. The only thing lower than a mutineer to the Maormer is an Ultima. Consorting with one is tantamount to treason. Loving one, unforgivable. I made them party to the ultimate taboo. Now they're trying to wash away the stain. They're going to summon a storm so powerful it'll scour the entire coast clean, and this keep with it. There'll be no trace of my offense left, or anything to stand between Alinor and the Piandinian Armada. They'll be remembered as heroes. On the battlements, calling to the wind and sea. It'll be a hard slog to get there. My crew won't hesitate to lay down their lives to protect Ulsar.
I have a suggestion for our next move. Defeating Ulsar won't be as simple as rushing up the battlements and driving a sword through his heart. He has all the power of Sea Keep at his command. It wouldn't even be a contest, but I have an idea to put us on equal footing. The magic in these old ruins are the hidden heart of Sea Keep's power. Without them, we'd merely be high walls and harsh words, save a few war machines. Cutting off the flow of magicka to the battlements might give us the edge we need. There are fonts that channel the power of magicka through Sea Keep. If we seal them, it should prevent Ursar from drawing more power into his storm, but the results could be unpredictable. Sealing the fonts will be like trying to plug a dam with our fingers. At best, we'll staunch the flow enough to weaken him. At worst, the strain brings the whole keep down on us.
Pan, your plan's insane. I love it. Where do we start?
No. You have to run while you can, Cass. Even if we stop the storm...
Stow it, Pan. I'm as much to blame for this as you. I'm not leaving you to fix it yourself.
You're okay turning a blade on your own? There's no way to avoid it.
They stopped being my own the moment they mutinied.
There's one of the fonts.
I don't suppose we could use this to blast Ursar off the ramparts?
Sadly, no.
Couldn't enjoy it from down here anyway.
From the back of the line.
Hold my blood on my tunic. I'll never get that out.
There's a font here.
Is there any way to tell if this is working?
Remaining in one piece will be a good sign.
I'm in favor of that.
The last font is just ahead.
Do what you have to do. I'll not shed any tears for these backbiting sea snakes. Ulsar's command of the wind and waves was the envy of my father's fleet. No finer serpent of the sea until he decided to sink his fangs into my back. He's always been formidable, but I've never seen anything like he's brewing up here. Just have to hope that Pan's plan to take the wind out of his sails works. If not, we brace for the storm and do our best to steer our aim true. I was making a name for myself on the Abetian Sea and caught the attention of a real bull-headed captain of the Ultima Navy. He chased me up and down the Blue Divide. Good fun, until a tempest tore our battle-worn ships to flinders. Left clinging to the same piece of driftwood in an empty sea. Between Maoma, it's the sign of a fateful match. With him, I thought I was cursed, but we survived together, grew close, and made vows when we thought we were sure to die. A Khajiiti trade barge pulled us from the drink and carried us along to elsewhere. Pan and I promised to see each other again and went our separate ways. We could have left all this behind right then. Could we have been happy like that? Who knows? Every day the immortal king of the Maorma nurses his grudge for thousands of years of exile. Retribution against the Ultima is practically all we live for. My heart isn't in that fight anymore, but to my crew, it's more important than their lives. If you can believe it, I admired him as an opponent long before I fell in love with him. He was brave, tenacious, dare I say reckless. He had pride, but not the empty sort that puffs up most high elves. He had earned his command. I could tell.
Too late to right the ship, Captain. Nothing left to do but sink with the rest of us.
I'm too stubborn to sink, Tenerife. That's why I was... May your bones bleach on barren sands. Damned fool. There wasn't a shred of hesitation in Tenerife's eyes. He went to his grave hating me with every fiber of his being. My second mate. Former second mate. He was like a brother to me, but he turned his back like the rest. I don't know why I expected him to be different. Not that I deserved his forgiveness. I betrayed them first. I made vows to one of the tyrants that exiled our people from our rightful home. I've lost everything because of it. Maybe I was right when I thought we were cursed. Maybe I was never one of them to begin with. How many of those vipers would have charged in here to rescue me from capture? Pan was the right choice.
Sealing the last of those magica fonts should have reduced the flow of magica to a trickle. We should get to the courtyard and see if it's affected the storm. The gates are barred. The locking mechanisms are controlled from those two towers.
Easy enough. You take one, I'll take the other.
Be careful. Once we've unbarred the battlement gates, we'll be able to strike at Ulsar. Damn it! I didn't see him escape, but I held out hope. I'm sorry, old friend. Rulatar was our ranking battle mage. I served alongside him for more than a century, but I left him to die here, alone. This should have been his command. He upheld his duty, fought to the end to hold this fort. I chose, selfishly, to follow my heart. I let down everyone who put their trust in me. We're not out of the storm yet, but I take your meaning. No matter what happens, I'll see her safe in the end. I swear it. That does it. Should meet Castira at the gate. This is it, Cass. Last chance to...
Don't try to talk me out of this, Pan.
Ulsar and his storm lie beyond this gate. No matter what happens, I want to thank you for standing by me. If it weren't for you, I might never have gotten to see Castira again. If this is goodbye, at least it'll be one with closure. Charging headlong into the fray was easier when I had nothing to lose, but my courage is intact. I'm with you to the end.
Ulsar's up ahead, in the eye of the storm. He drove my crew to mutiny, tossed me in chains, and nearly killed the man I love. I'll drag him to the bottom of Mother Sea if it's the last thing I do. You remember our vows?
They were the only thing that kept us moored through that miserable storm.
Let's do it again. How often are we going to see a tempest like this in one lifetime?
You always were the romantic.
Shouldn't the storm be growing weaker?
I said it probably wouldn't get any stronger. Damn him! I can barely hold my footing!
Keep fighting! One of us has to make it!
You can't tame the sea!
Pan! Your reinforcements! They're here, they can't see me with you.
Castira, wait!
It ends like it began. The two of us, adrift among the wreckage of our lives.
But alive and together.
Fortune smiles, with a shark's teeth. Ulsar's dead and his mutiny along with him. I only wish I had the strength to settle the score myself. If there was any justice in the world, he'd have been forced to concede that he'd never drown me in shame. I'll return home with my head held high. It'll be a long journey without a crew, but I'll manage. There's no shame in returning to port humbled but unbroken, though I think I'll steer clear of sun-kissed shores for some time. I love him for some reason, but the walls between us are taller than this keep. Just to see him for a few fleeting moments commands such risk, it nearly destroyed everything we care about, and more. There's no place for us among Malma or Altma. Just leave it all behind. Live for ourselves. If only we'd just done that so long ago. Our mistake was trying to live two lives that were on a collision course from the start. We won't make it again. Thank you. I love you, Pan. But we can't go on like this.
I know, Cass.
We've been fighting against the current for years. It's time to see where it means to take us.
You mean, together?
If you're up for a swim.
Where would we go?
The storm could have carried us off to anywhere, Pan. Pretend it did.
Let's cast our fate to the wind.
If anyone asks, we were swept out to sea, never to return. Farewell.
This is where we part ways, friend. I wish I'd known more people like you in my life. Things might have been different if I had. The vanguard from Alinor has arrived, not a moment too soon. Tell the Battle Reeve what happened here, or as close to the truth as best serves you. After today, I'm dead to my people. It doesn't matter how I'm remembered.
Where is Battle Reeve Pandemalion? His soldiers said he returned to Seakeep with a passerby.
One that matches your description? What is going on? Another noble soul lost to the Sea Elves. They've claimed too many in their relentless raiding. Vipers. We will take things from here. You are to be commended for your service to the Crown. Out of my sight! Griffins would make better neighbors than wood elves. Let's consider this spot.
As you say, my lady.
Your aid was acceptable. You saved the Queen. Stars keep you safe, traveler.
Honestly, I think she plans to do something rash. She might even attack the guards. Ugh. Never.
Honestly, why can't you newcomers just return to your own lands? Weren't you happier there?
Ah, another newcomer. Delightful. What exactly can I do for you? What keen ears you have. You heard us discussing a private matter from way over there? Impressive. Perhaps you can put that inquisitive nature to good use. A newcomer, much like you, is stirring up trouble here in Lilandril. A member of the Mages Guild murdered a sapiarch, but now the murderer's friend is railing against the conviction, loudly. Talk some sense into her, would you? She might listen to another guest. You'll find her outside the Fighters Guild.
New in town? Well, welcome to Lilandril, newcomer. A bit of friendly advice. Have a care around the sapiarchs. They can be prickly.
No, that won't do. The color must be vibrant. Finally, the courier. I expected you hours ago. You must acquire my materials at once. And don't think I'll compensate you for the rush, given you're the one who was late. Oh, well, I can hardly keep track of every face I hire. An artist's work is endless. I need colors. Rich, rare, vibrant. After all, this painting will be the masterpiece of my career. I simply cannot work with mediocre shades. Reagents, ingredients, naturally, of course. I require that you gather the supplies needed to make the vivid paint this masterwork requires. Just take this list. Oh, and this tea, of course, you'll need it to acquire the first item. Now hurry along. I really do need you to hurry along. Inspiration could strike me at any moment, and I simply must have the perfect colors when that time comes. Oh, of course, you're a fan. Well, I'm not surprised my popularity precedes me. I'm sure it's not every day that you meet an artist of my caliber. As long as it doesn't delay you for too long, you may ask me some questions. From what I gather, Summerset views its artists rather differently than the rest of Tamriel. It's one of the few ways to rise above your family's station and enter the world of the elite. This masterpiece shall be my final step. Oh, no. Being a renowned artist is a station all its own, and a highly respected one at that. From this generation forth, my descendants shall say my name with reverence. What more could one ask for? I'm known for my art, yes, but I need something to set me apart. A painting that shall hang for centuries, worshipped by those who gaze upon it. To do so, I need breathtaking, resplendent colors, vivid, powerful, emotional. Hamelin's dye produces the most gorgeous teal you'll ever see. The Yokuden tea I've given you should be a good enough trade. Brodron's bug carcasses create grays with flashes of silver. He's already received payment, so just tell him my name. The Aurealis. Oh, such a glowing orange it produces. Beautiful enough to bring tears to your eyes. The flowers are rare, but I happen to know a hilltop where they still grow. I've marked all the locations for you in the note.
Hard at work, Tindoria? How goes your finger painting?
Ah, Verilel. I see you've deigned to step out of your florid abode. Come to see how a real artist creates.
I'd enlighten you with a response, but we both know my skill speaks for itself.
Why, you're certainly skilled at boasting. If only you had the artistic sense Auriel gave a mudharper, you might produce something of worth.
Your tongue remains as sharp as your wits. When I'm declared the royal court's newest artist, I'll be sure to send you an invitation to dinner.
What a kind offer, though I'm sure that won't be necessary. After all, we both know that I'll be the one to acquire that position. I really do need you to hurry along. Inspiration could strike me at any moment, and I simply must have the perfect colors when that time comes.
So, you volunteered to collect Tindoria's arduous list of artistic materials? How exciting. Do try not to get eaten by anything unpleasant. Who am I? Honestly, I'm shocked you haven't heard of me. My works of brilliance are desired across all Summerset. My name reverberates throughout the land on the lips of nobles and commoners alike. An artist? No. I am the artist. I assure you, my confidence is well earned. Unlike poor Tindoria, she tries her best, but those with an eye for these sorts of things know the truth. She lacks a certain something. Hate, that's quite a strong term. Why, we're simply friendly rivals. It's always been that way ever since we trained together under Hainamil. Truly, I relish our time together. I'm simply the better artiste.
Honestly, why can't you newcomers just return?
Another newcomer in such an unwelcoming land. Surely you feel pity for a fellow outcast. This one only needs a little gold to get himself started. Some food, some clothes, and he will be a new Khajiit. Perhaps you would be willing to help with such a transformation. Oh, noble soul. Min Bazal will never forget your kindness. With this, he shall forge a new life for himself. 1,000 blessings be upon you.
Well, go on. Someone needs to talk some sense into that woman before she causes even more problems.
Pardon me, but I'd rather be left alone right now. I'm dealing with a rather personal loss, and not in the mood for conversation. Corpse. Nefarian is dead. This note. By the stars, I can barely believe what it says. He was the one who killed Mother. Because he had turned into a... Who else have you told about this? Excellent. And by your own admission, he's dead. I honestly can't think of a better conclusion to this whole affair. I'll just say he was kidnapped or some such. Here's a reward, both for delivering the letter and keeping this matter discreet. Thank you for understanding. Hopefully I can put this whole affair behind me soon. Is it so strange to feel relief at such an outcome? You read Nefarian's letter. He wanted his affliction to be kept a secret. He knew the repercussions this would have on our families. Honestly, I'm sure he is too. Better to die in honor than live in disgrace. And I do mourn his loss. He was an excellent candidate for marriage. It could take decades before I'm matched with another betrothed. And a femme such as yourself would never understand. My family's name, Nefarian's family's name, that's all that matters. Nothing else. Someone who's not a high elf, of course. If you're going to live within Summerset, I strongly suggest you learn our vocabulary. It's the least you visitors can do.
Stay strong, Emil. I'll get you out of this.
Secure the prisoner in the Fighters Guild. Off you go.
You're a member of the Mages Guild, aren't you? Please, you have to help me. The Sapiarchs accused one of our compatriots, my best friend, of a murder he didn't commit. They won't even consider the possibility that he's innocent. Another Sapiarch named Haladon. Emil arrived at the gates of Lilandril, carrying Haladon's body, and confessed to the crime. But he seemed shocked, confused. I know Emil better than anyone. He's not capable of something like this. I swear it. He's a pacifist for Mara's sake. The Sapiarch's investigation was a joke. They just took Emil at his word and handed down the sentence. Of course, the local guild magister rolled over like she always does. Coward. Please, I need your help. The Sapiarchs say Emil confessed to murdering Haladon, but he'd never murder anyone. He loved Haladon. I don't know if he's confused or disoriented, but I do know he wouldn't do it. Please, talk to Emil. Convince him to recant his confession. Emil and I are both members of the Mages Guild chapter here in Lilandril, and students of the guild's chief diplomat, Kalawende. As for our relationship, Emil is my dearest friend. Has been since we were both in diapers. I don't know if he'll listen to anyone, but I don't have a choice. The Sapiarchs and Mages Guild consider the matter settled, and they've forbidden me from speaking to Emil further. No one has forbidden you to speak to him. You can still reach him. An order of high elf scholars and mages. They walk the halls of power here in Summerset, observing and advising. Of course, there's a thin line between advising and ruling by proxy. They're not over fond of us guild mages. They think we're reckless. To the Sapiarchs, stepping in puddles is reckless. Not folding your linens is reckless. By their standards, my 90-year-old grandmother is wild as a foal in springtime. No, the guild values new ideas, novel approaches, but it's far from reckless. He and Emil were very close. If you'd asked me before all this happened, I'd have wagered that one or the other was shopping for a Ring of Mara. They had common interests, but more than that, they had common values. Gods, what a tragedy. Restoration magic, wards against disease and curses, that sort of thing. They'd been researching ways to prevent lycanthropy, vampirism, and other afflictions. You see, the Emil I know dedicated his life to healing people, not murdering them. Absolutely not. Emil's gentle as a lamb, and Haladon didn't have a conniving bone in his body. The tension between the guild and the Sapiarchs weighed on them a bit, but not so much that it would drive them apart. Like I said, Emil is innocent.
If you insist on involving yourself in some vain investigatory charade, I won't stop you, but tread carefully. The Sapiarchs have little tolerance for amateur detectives. Who are you? Hand of Auriel, what has Queen Irene wrought? I am Sorataril, Sapiarch Master of Psychocartography, the mapping of orbic thought forms and dream phenomena. I also find myself saddled with the role of cultural attaché. I interact with all manner of strange and uncultured individuals, but yes, I maintain relations between my order and the Mages Guild's new arrivals. A trying enterprise. Please, if only for my sake, keep your business here peaceable, all right?
I don't have anything to say to you or anyone else. Please, go. Yes. She's wrong. What? No, no. They already did an investigation. I murdered Haladon. It was me. Why are you inserting yourself into matters that don't concern you? I murdered a Sapiarch. I accept responsibility and my punishment. Go away. I don't want your help.
You there? Why? I am Kalawende, Chief Diplomat of the Mages Guild. I apologize for my tone. This has been a trying time. The Sapiarchs consider this matter closed, you know. What are you doing exactly? Who sent you? Our interests may align. Vivine, look, I've uncovered something odd as well. The Sapiarchs have made it very difficult for me to intervene directly. Perhaps you can help. Emil met a shady merchant named Galador prior to the murder. That's very out of character for him. That's what I came here to find out. But it seems Emil doesn't want to talk. Galador has deep connections to Lilandril's smugglers and thieves. If you learn what Emil purchased from Galador, we might gain some insight into Haladon's murder. Galador stores his business ledger in one of the inn's larger suites. Unfortunately, he placed a hex on the book, making it impossible to read without a passphrase. If you discover the passphrase, you should be able to learn what Emil purchased. My contacts tell me that Galador left the city on business. Goodness knows what time. No one will accost you while you investigate. Just be careful. It cannot become known the Mages Guild is investigating this matter after the Sapiarchs forbid it. She is tenacious. She often volunteers to help others. You won't find a more zealous advocate for the Mages Guild's goals and mission. In truth, I've never had a greater pupil, aside from Emil, of course. In my experience, people use talent as an excuse for idleness and lack of effort. Emil and Vivine both enjoy great natural ability, but Emil's focus on restoration magic indicates purer motives. He also works harder than anyone I know. Truthfully, I'd love to, but as a diplomat, I don't have that luxury. The Sapiarchs consider the matter settled, and officially our Mages Guild has accepted their ruling. I have a duty to preserve our relations with the Sapiarchs. It has exacerbated tensions that already exist. The Sapiarchs see this murder as evidence of our negligence. Members of the Guild resent it, so we're caught in something of a downward spiral. Yes, the guard who found Emil, Milleron, the Sapiarchs classified him as a Ryazen, a critical witness. Anyone with close ties to Emil is forbidden to speak with him, but not you. I'll find out where they've hidden Milleron. You look into Galador.
I haven't had an assignment in nearly a week. What's the point of wearing armor if we're just hanging around the guild hall all day?
It's common knowledge that the Sapiarchs are going out of their way to hinder our practices in Lilandril. Just how petty can they be?
So many of us are caught up in the doings of the Sapiarchs on their miserable rock. We forget the Mages Guild's true purpose. This one knows there is too much work to be done to debate local politics.
Thankfully, neither the Sapiarchs nor members of the Mages Guild seem interested in drinking here. It's one of the few places where I can find peace and quiet.
Fan and myrrh took up the call. They knew they could not fail. Together they combined their might. The all-flags navy sailed with Benduolo at his side, slinging sword and spell. He beat back the tide, the coral kingdom fell. Oh, Sirahane, oh, Sirahane, ye mer of godly faith. Oh, Sirahane, oh, Sirahane, the youngest of the age. Now, good Mer, remember well the tale of Sirahane. For when dark times came to pass, he knew to ask for aid. Oh, Sirahane.
Over here. I trust you were successful. My own inquiries were fruitful. I've learned where we must go next in this investigation. But wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Did you manage to break Galador's wards? What did you find? Honestly? What would Emil want with sheep's blood? And syringes? I'd suspect blood magic or chemical addiction if I didn't know Emil. Neither of those items are illegal. He must have bought them from Galador to keep the purchase a secret. I'll try to figure out what Emil wanted with these items. Meanwhile, I found the guard who arrested Emil, Milleront. I'm forbidden to speak to him, but you are not. The Sapiarchs moved Milleront to Lilandril's docks. Find out what he knows.
Welcome to Lilandril. Just off the boat. Lots of sailors coming and going. Just don't forget to submit your shipping manifests to the harbor master. Unless there's something else you need. Sad business, that. I was at my post when I saw Emil with a body slung over his shoulder. Once he reached the gate, he slid Haladan's corpse onto the ground and collapsed. He just knelt there sobbing, saying, "I killed him over and over." He didn't seem mad, if that's what you're asking, but he wasn't lucid either. When it comes to murderers, I've met more than my fair share, so you can trust me when I say Emil's no murderer. He might have killed Haladan, but it wasn't on purpose. Look, you need to promise me you'll keep this to yourself. Saltbreeze Cave is just south of here. Well-worn entrance, wizard's tools scattered about. I tried to tell the Sapiarchs about it, but your answers are in that cave. Guaranteed. This business with Emil was just too odd. Once the Sapiarchs convicted him, I had to find the truth of it. I took my coursing hound, Othelus, down to the gate and had him follow Haladan's blood trail. It led right to the mouth of that cave. No, Saltbreeze has a sour reputation. It used to be a popular haunt for the city youth to drink, sing, fornicate, that sort of thing. Then we lost a pair of lovebirds in a salamander attack. It's been abandoned ever since. At least we thought so. Of course they did. They'd already declared Emil guilty of the murder. Can't lose face over something like this. You got a confession, Milleron, just let it go. Humph. They're just anxious to be done with this whole affair. That's the other thing. Haladan looked like he'd been thrown off a cliff. Legs broken, blood leaking out of his ears, collapsed ribcage. You tell me how a wiry Breton could do that to someone. Doesn't make a whit of sense. Unless he can conjure up a stone club the size of an ox yoke, I just can't imagine it. I'll tell you to examine the body yourself, but the Sapiarchs already burned it. Convenient.
Help out a poor soul.
Who's there? Please don't hurt me. I mean you no harm. Emil, is that you? Where is Haladan? Is he all right? Auriel, forgive me. Please listen carefully. Emil did not murder Haladan. I swear it. The two of them only sought to help me. I suffered from a mysterious affliction. Haladon and Emil infected me with vampirism to halt the disease's progress. Gods, no! I came here with my companion Gerwadel. By the time we arrived, her illness was terminal. Emil tried to administer the cure to her too, but she broke free and attacked Haladon. There was so much shouting. I thought maybe they escaped. Stone abominations. Vampiric alchemy. If the Sapiarchs found out that Haladon had a hand in this tragedy, they would strike his name from the histories. Emil would never let that happen. Read Haladon's notes, you'll see the truth of it. Absolutely. Haladon and Emil loved each other deeply. It was obvious from the moment I arrived. Emil would never let something he did jeopardize Haladon's reputation. Were their roles reversed, Haladon would do the same thing. Guaranteed. I don't think you understand the Sapiarchs. It wouldn't be a simple matter of not praying over Haladon's grave. They would expunge his memory entirely. Every discovery he made, every scholarly paper, everything. It would be like he never existed. Undoubtedly. The Sapiarchs would probably dispatch a few vampire hunters to find me. But don't worry about that. I'll find a way to take care of myself. I believe so. The fog is gone. The flop sweats and sleepless nights with dreams of blood and stone. But the cost was high. Too high. Poor Haladon. And now there's the hunger. Yes, I can feel it creeping up the back of my throat. That thirst. It was just a tickle at first. Now, who knows how far it will go? Emil brewed this form of the virus alchemically. Maybe this will pass and I won't need to feed it all. I can hope. Never. Enough people have suffered on my account. Anyway, how would I find them? The shale skin disease claimed my sight before Emil had the chance to administer the treatment. I will find a way to survive without harming others. You have my word. My new condition does have a few benefits. My senses are keener now than they've ever been. I can hear the flutter of a moth's wings and smell lichens in the next room. It's enough. It will have to be enough. They called it osteochondritic fever, a rare virus that hardens the skin like stone and oyster shell. And as if that weren't bad enough, it also drives you insane. Gerwadel had already succumbed to the madness when she attacked Haladon. We were part of a merchant fleet that got blown off course, wound up beached on an island full of slowed mischief. Something in the air there, or perhaps the water. All of us were infected. So far as I know, I'm the only one that survived. Truthfully, because he was the kindest, most generous mayor I've ever known. We were childhood friends, you see. When I wrote to him about my condition, he didn't even hesitate. He just bid me come to Lilandril, no questions asked. I believe so. The fog is gone. The flop sweats. Hurry to Lilandril, prove Emil's innocence. I'll find my way. Somehow.
you're back. Did you find any evidence that might exonerate Emil? You must have found something.
What did Guard Milleron have to say? Were you able to discover anything that might shed light on Haladan's murder?
You again? I told you, I don't want to talk about this. I'm guilty. What? No. No, you're mistaken. No. You can't believe her. She's lying. I attacked Haladan. I killed him. You're making this up. No one will believe it. No. Please, you must burn those notes. If the Sapiarchs learn what Haladan and I did, he'll be ruined. Disgraced. All his work will be for nothing. And Norasea. Mara, save me. Poor Norasea. They'll kill her. Please, you must keep this a secret.
By Magnus, if what you say is true, Emil's innocent. You seem hesitant. Don't get bogged down in the details of his experiments. The important thing is that he didn't murder Haladan. You have to take this to the Sapiarchs. She's a vampire. I grew up in Shornhelm, and I know how dangerous they are. They drink people's blood for Mara's sake. Look, I pity Norasea, but we can't destroy Emil's life over one bad decision. Setting a vampire free is reckless. You know that. Haladan's dead, and if he truly loved Emil, he would gladly suffer humiliation to keep his beloved out of prison. You know that. As for the Guild endures. We'll be fine. Just do the right thing.
Poor Emil. He meant well. But these are shocking revelations. I never thought he'd be so reckless. Creating a potion to deliberately infect someone with vampirism? By the eight. If this gets out, the Sapiarchs may never trust us again. I care for Emil, but I have a whole guild to consider. We've brought many outsiders to Summerset, and our relations here are tenuous at best. Even if Emil didn't murder Haladan, creating a potion this hazardous is still grounds for exile. I spoke to Sapiarch Saratarel. If Emil makes a full confession, the Sapiarchs will let us handle the details of his imprisonment. I've arranged for Emil to return to Stormhaven. A familiar setting, sympathetic guards. It's the best I can do. No, but then there are many forms of freedom. Wouldn't you agree? Emil will have access to our vast library and ample opportunity to write and publish. He can still play a vital role in the advancement of the arcane arts. You have my word.
There's nothing to consider. Even if I didn't kill Haladan, the vampirism was my idea. He never would have agreed to it if I hadn't pushed him. Haladan meant more to me than you'll ever know. His memory is all I have left. Don't ruin it. Please. Oh, Mara bless you. Losing Haladan was awful. I still see his bloody face with my waking eyes. The only thing keeping me sane is the knowledge that I might spare his reputation and the friend he dearly loved. Thank you for this kindness.
How can you condemn an innocent man to prison? He's obviously out of his mind with grief. I'd find a way to exonerate him myself if I thought anyone would listen. Damn your eyes, and the Sapiarchs!
I know this wasn't easy. Condemning an innocent man to prison makes me nauseous. But sometimes sacrifices have to be made for the greater good. As odd as it sounds, I think your decision brought Emil some measure of peace. Thank you.
You have new evidence to present? Very well. I trust your investigation was thorough and unbiased? Or rather, as thorough and unbiased as an itinerant newcomer can manage. What new evidence do you wish to enter into the official record? Well, that is a surprise. As farcical as your investigation might have been, I appreciate your willingness to side with the facts. It does much to restore my opinion of the Mages Guild in Lilandril. I've already spoken with the Guild diplomat, Kalawende. We resolved to send Emil back to Stormhaven. Leaving a Breton to rattle around in a high elf prison would reflect poorly on all of us. Better to imprison him among his own kind. Mercifully, yes. The Mages Guild promised to imprison Emil for the rest of his brief Breton life. I have no reason to doubt their sincerity, given your honesty today. Let us put this matter behind us. The Guild and the Sapiarchs must move forward. Now, I see no reason to delay Emil's exile. I will formalize his conviction today, have him turned over to the Mages Guild shortly thereafter. This sordid affair has caused enough pain. I'll not draw it out. Your honesty and Kalawende's willingness to accede to our demands give me hope for the future. The Mages Guild suffers from all the vices of youth, but perhaps, with our help, it can grow into an organization worthy of its proud high elf heritage.